I've made and sold digital products that took me just a few hours to create. And not only have they generated thousands of dollars in revenue, but they continue to sell today. The best part is you don't need a big audience, fancy tools, or really much experience at all. In this video, I'm sharing 9 realistic digital products that you can create and sell even if you're starting from scratch. So recently, I challenged myself to create and launch a digital product in 7 hours, just to see if I could get it to sell. Spoiler alert, it did, and I made 12 sales within the first day. I actually filmed the whole chaotic experience, which I will link for you down below, but the reason it worked is simple. I did my research and chose a product that people actually wanted to buy. And this product was a Notion Life Planner. Now, I'm not an expert in Notion by any means. I've always used it for the basics, like creating to-do lists and brainstorming ideas. But since I've been seeing Notion planners trending for so long on marketplaces like Etsy and Creative Market, I really wanted to give it a shot. So I taught myself how to build a planner by watching free YouTube tutorials. I got inspiration from trending products online, and I asked myself, what would I need out of a life planner? That's how I came up with features like a habit tracker, a time blocking layout, and weekly to-do lists. So if this product interests you, just sign up for a free Notion account and start exploring their features. Here's just one example of a successful Notion planner I found. It's a best-selling item that's fluctuated in price from $20 to $40, and it made over 100 sales just last month. Now, am I saying you're going to make $4,000 immediately after publishing your own planner? No, but what I am saying is that this type of product has so much potential. You can price it higher than many other digital products, it has way less competition, and you can create multiple variations to boost exposure and sales over time. So once my planner took off, I started thinking, what else do I use all the time that could be turned into a digital product? Well, I'm a huge bookworm, like the kind of person who has a running list of books in 5 different places, making notes about what I want to read next, what I finished, and what I abandoned halfway through. Eventually, I realized, wait, this is literally a digital product, a book tracker. And the best part is, you don't need any fancy tools to create one. You can build these in Google Sheets or Notion. I've seen some book trackers on Etsy that are selling like crazy because they're super beginner friendly and highly customizable. Here's a great example of a book tracker and reading list created in Google Sheets. You can scroll through the images to see what's included and even check out the reviews to get inspiration from what people are loving. This product sells for over $20 and made 50 sales just last month. So again, another digital product with a lot of potential and surprisingly simple to create. Now, while I haven't personally made this next digital product yet, I have created many fun and creative products similar to it, like prints, stickers, and digital cards. And honestly, it's such a satisfying experience. So if you love the idea of combining design with personal expression, especially for people who are into journaling or memory keeping, then you're going to love creating digital scrapbook kits. If you've never heard of these before, they're basically themed bundles of design elements like stickers, cutouts, textured backgrounds, clip art, and decorative fonts that people can use in digital planners, journals, or scrapbooks. If you go on Creative Market and search digital scrapbook kit, you'll find tons of niche-specific ones, from vintage styles and boho to minimalist black and white sets. You can easily create high-quality kits like these using Kittl, which is my favorite graphic design software that I use all the time for my own digital products. I've partnered with them in this video so you can try them out entirely for free using the link below. You get access to their huge library of creative assets that are being updated on a regular basis, like fonts, graphics, textures, elements, and so much more. So if I use this best-selling listing as inspiration, which is an elegant garden junk journal kit, I can create pages just like these in Kittl with a few different vintage style images. You can use all their fonts, graphics, and elements on the left side here to create your own images from scratch. You can upload your own images if you'd like to combine them with Kittl's assets, and you can use their AI image generator if you have something specific in mind. So under image styles, I chose acrylic, and I tried prompts like meadow of flowers in vintage style, rose in a vintage style, and secret garden in vintage style. And I specified in muted colors. It brought up some beautiful images that I can use in my own products, I can filter the photos if I want to customize it further, and I can make them full page images or place them into frames like the listing I found. And you get to control the resolution of your files. So when you export, you can select 300 dpi to ensure that your customers receive their files in high quality. If you'd like to access Kittle's Pro plan, just use code SandraYT at checkout for 25% off. You're going to absolutely love it. I used to think that creating ebooks was this massive undertaking that would take weeks or even months to complete. And honestly, that mindset kept me stuck for the longest time. Then I started noticing other content creators offering these focused startup guides that were much more manageable to create. That's when it clicked for me. I could start by creating a short but impactful startup guide as a starting point before committing to a full, comprehensive ebook. One of my very first digital products outside of my Etsy shop was actually an Etsy shop startup guide, which I sold on another platform. Instead of writing that massive complete guide to Etsy shop success that I'd been procrastinating on for months, I created a focused guide that covered exactly what beginners needed to know about launching their shop. And with Kittle, creating these guides is incredibly simple because you can just use their beautiful and professional pre-made templates and customize everything from the fonts to the color schemes and to the graphics. I've actually created a full tutorial showing you how to make these step by step, which I'll link for you down below in the description box. If you're not sure what kind of startup guide you can create, think of something you figured out through trial and error that would have saved you a ton of time if someone just explained it to you clearly. You can even use ChatGPT to help you outline your guide, brainstorm a title, or write out entire sections as long as you give it the key points or info you want to include. Funny story, I recently spent $500, yes, $500 on slide deck templates, and I don't regret it for a second. I was getting ready to launch a webinar and digital course, and between prepping the content, filming, editing, and designing everything else, I just didn't have the time or the brain space to build beautiful slides from scratch. And that's when I realized this is a brilliant digital product to sell. People like me, course creators, coaches, business owners, we're more than happy to pay for well-designed slide deck templates that we can customize and use right away. And the best part is, it's a business expense, which makes it even easier to justify the price. So you can charge quite a bit for your slide decks. These types of digital products are especially powerful because they solve a high priority problem. They save people time and make their brand look polished. You can create slide deck templates using Google Slides or PowerPoint and design for specific use cases like webinars, courses, client presentations, or workshops. This creator sells all kinds of slide deck templates on Creative Market for almost $50 each. And the great thing is, once you've designed one package, you can easily duplicate it, switch up the colors, and tweak a few elements to create a whole new product. And speaking of digital products that make businesses look polished while saving them time, let's be honest, branding is one of those things that every business owner wants to get right, but not everyone has the time or the design eye to pull it off on their own. That's why products that help streamline the branding process are gold. So if you're someone who enjoys designing beautiful visuals and understands the importance of a cohesive online presence, then maybe you would enjoy creating social media branding kits. These can be pre-made collections of Instagram posts, story slides, highlight icons, and even brand boards that give business owners a plug-and-play solution for showing up online professionally. And just like slide decks, these kits solve a real problem, and business owners are more than happy to pay for that kind of shortcut. What makes them especially powerful is how niche you can go with them. For example, you could create a kit specifically for yoga instructors, real estate agents, or wellness coaches, each with colors, fonts, and layouts that fit that vibe. And to take it a step further, you can create different kits for different platforms. For example, this shop sells all kinds of kits, and I'm obsessed with this YouTube branding kit they made in a fun scrapbook style. This shop made 7 sales on this $20 listing just last month, and that's just one of many kits they're consistently selling. So the light bulb moment for this next digital product actually came to me when I stumbled across a shop that was selling a product creation workbook. And it had many 5-star reviews along with other workbooks in their shop. Not everyone wants a big course or a long-winded ebook to help them reach a specific goal. Sometimes they just want a straightforward, fill-in-the-blank workbook that helps them take action on their goals. And maybe that's why one of my ebooks performs so well, because I have a workbook element included in it to help my customers take action on the tips I'm sharing. So you can create business launch workbooks that walk people through launching something specific, whether that's an Instagram account, an email list, a service-based business, or even their first product. And you don't need to overthink this. Just pick one specific outcome you want to help someone achieve and break it down into steps or prompts. Then turn that into a workbook with checklists, fill-in-the-blank sections, and spaces for notes or ideas. You can use tools like Kittl or even Google Docs to design it, and utilize ChatGPT to help you brainstorm the content when you hit a roadblock. Now, let's talk about another digital product that solves a genuine pain point for service providers and freelancers. This one is a system that saves business owners a ton of time and makes their business look more professional: client onboarding kits. If you've ever worked with clients or run a service-based business, you know how time-consuming and repetitive the onboarding process can be. That's where these kits come in. Client onboarding kits are basically ready-made packages of professional documents that streamline the entire client experience from start to finish. These typically include welcome guides that set expectations, questionnaires to gather all necessary information up front, project timeline templates, and even contract templates. For example, this client onboarding Notion template sells for over $30, and the seller made 37 sales just last month, which is $1,100 from a single digital product. Pretty incredible. All right, some of you might be thinking, but I want to create something more substantial, maybe even teach what I know and charge more for it than a basic startup guide, template, or an ebook. If that's you, but the idea of building a full-blown course feels overwhelming, then mini courses are your perfect entry point. Back when I was a freelance graphic designer, I started getting flooded with DMs from other designers asking me how I was consistently landing clients through social media. Instead of continuing to answer the same questions over and over, I decided to create a focused mini course that walked people through my exact branding and client acquisition strategy step by step. I called it How to Develop a Personal Brand as a Freelance Graphic Designer. And since people were already asking me for it, it was a very successful mini course. Now I have a very similar mini course that I've published on Creative Fabrica, which consistently brings in passive income for me every month. And mini courses are perfect because they're quick to create, easy to update, and simple to sell through platforms like Skillshare, Udemy, Gumroad, Payhip, or even Teachable. Remember to sign up for Kittl using the link below and get access to their huge library of creative assets for your digital products. And if you're still thinking that the idea of a startup guide, workbook, or ebook is the perfect place to start, head over to this video where I walk you through the entire process of designing one step by step. So I'll see you there.